finally, after so long, I hope you worked up an appetite.
Yes.
A calorie deficit, as you said, for lunch.
Okay.
So you climbed stairs today.
I climbed stairs today. 25 floors.
So do you work out just to eat?
No. Because I had a heavy breakfast, I had like 3 dishes for breakfast at 3 separate hawker centers or coffee shops.
Why?
Because it was on Joo Chiat and you can't walk a stretch on Joo Chiat without stopping and eating. So I had prawn noodles and then we walked a bit and I was like, oh look, there's Mr. and Mrs. Morgan's prata. Okay, let's have one prata. And
Is
then
that kosong prata?
kosong, of course, because we need to make space for char kway teow.
Of course.
Yeah, so
But what is your comfort food?
laksa. Laksa with extra hum, specifically Sungai Road laksa. Have you been?
No.
You like laksa?
Of course, I love.
It's not a Katong thing, okay?
Okay.
It is a Sungai Road thing.
I have very exacting standards when it comes to laksa.
Yes. My friend and I, we were in Mexico and the first thing we did when we came back from 2 weeks of tacos was to wheel our luggage straight from the airport
Right, I was supposed to meet you.
to Sungai Road laksa.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Yeah, that was that.
Is laksa something that you miss when you go traveling?
I actually bring instant laksa noodles from the Prima Taste with me. And, you know, they're so big. They're like lamian, not the usual instant noodles.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, okay, sometimes when I'm backpacking, it's a bit cumbersome to bring such, you know, space-taking instant foods. The 1-2 times I didn't bring those laksa packets along, I regret. So now it goes into my luggage. At least 4 packets.
So you're one of those people that travel with your
Yes.
own food, your native food.
And sambal.
Of
You
course.
have to have sambal belacan.
Of course, that's the most
Yeah.
important.
Hi.
Sorry.
for you. With that.
Thank you.
Oh my god, this is Yusang.
This will be the sour plum dressing.
I like it like that. Gongsi
That's good enough. That's good enough.
Okay, thank you.
Now it's time to toss the salad.
Okay, paint. It's organized mess. See, I can do this. You need to allow really hard.
Oh, you want it to be like the traditional way. Now I know that you cook. What is your favorite thing to prepare?
You know, it's going to sound really boring to you. Generally, people are shocked when I tell them this. But I usually go green at home. I don't know why. It's not like a conscientious effort to do it. But I just don't know why whenever I cook at home, I just want my food to be clean without too much flavorings. So I always make my green bowl. I go to Media and get all sorts of like my favorite Japanese vegetables like the ladyfinger, the sweet corn, the lotus root, mushrooms of all sorts, greens. And I'll just make a dashi. Put that all in, tofu, and maybe some, you know, noodles.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, it is very delicious. It's so simple. It looks so clean and green. But oh my god, I will add some ginger to the broth and then like chili padi to just for that
Of
kick.
course.
Yeah.
You need chili padi for
I need chili
everything.
padi.
How often do you cook?
Whenever I can. Like, no, I usually cook when I look at my schedule and I see like, okay, I've got 3 days where in a row where I can have 3 meals. It needs to be in a row because ingredients go bad. So as long as I have 3 days where I can have at least 1 meal a day at home, I would buy ingredients. Because living alone as a single person, it's very difficult to portion. And when you go to a supermarket, which is the most convenient, everything is kind of like, you know, packed for a bigger portion.
Yeah.
So, no, yeah.
Who taught you how to cook?
I think it's mom. Like nobody really taught me, but growing up near a kitchen, in the kitchen was very much a part of my childhood.
What's your earliest memory of food?
I think a lot of it was my mom, was the good and the bad. I'll share 2 experiences. The bad has been like, because I've got a bad habit of peeling my lips. It's like a tick, you know, a mental tick.
Sounds painful.
Like how some people like to bite their nails, I like to peel my lips. The funny thing is I don't feel no pain on my lips when I peel it. So it's just something I do when I'm nervous or I do when I need to calm myself. And my mom would hate it so much that she would get me to stop peeling my lips by cutting chili padi into half and then rubbing...
That's my punishment.
Yeah.
That's how my grandmother used to teach
I'm
me.
telling you, man, Asian parents.
No, really?
Yeah.
Like, that's literally how she punished me. Because she would
Rub
leave
chili
no
on it.
trace That's how I learned how to take my spice.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to consume it so that the punishment ends.
Yeah.
And then I think it builds like my tolerance for heat as well.
Yeah. And it also taught me that I have high tolerance for pain. And then the good thing would be like my mom is such a foodie, and this was way before food bloggers and like, Instagram and all that. She was battling cancer for 10 years. And every time she got over like, her treatment, the nausea and everything, she would like, okay, drag us to eat. And it would always be in our neighborhood. And I remember one time, this was groundbreaking for chicken rice, but Boon Tong Kee first come to Singapore. And we know chicken rice to be like warm. It's just something you eat like at a hawker center.
It's familiar.
But for Boon Tong Kee, my mom actually sat down and explained to us, you know why this is so nice? It's because after they boil the chicken, they dunk it into an ice bath. And as a child, that was like, I don't know, mind-blowing. Why would you do that to a cooked piece of food? Why would you dunk it into ice? But that made the skin so tender, and she explained that to us despite us being children. So that piqued my interest for food as well. And I will never look at Boon Tong Kee the same way again, even though they've got so many branches now.
In your opinion, which country has the best food?
I would go with variety, because you can't say what's good or bad. It's really up to you whether you like it or not. But I would say a country that I don't mind being trapped in with its food for the rest of my life would be Japan, simply because they are like #1 culture appropriator of the world. Haven't been to China recently after like resisting going there for the longest time.
Why?
Because I didn't think I would like it. The shoving and the pushing and the pollution. But after having gone there and spending time there, I realized how everything is so familiar and how much of the Japanese cuisine originates from China. But the Japanese have like appropriated the food culture from all over the world. Curries, noodles, even yu sheng is from China, but they call it sashimi. They've taken all that. Even pizzas are better in like Japan than Italy. They've taken it and they've made it better. They made it Japanese.
You in Japan sounds like the crossroads of the world.
It almost feels like, I like all these different foods from all over the world. Let's take it, make the Japanese, make it better. It's like mind-blowing.
So this would be the Australian abalone ceviche.
Oh, wow. Wait, what does it smell like?
It smells really nice. Citrusy. I'm gonna take a photo first.
Camera has to eat first before.
Always, but you feel free to eat.
What's the strangest food you've had?
It wasn't strange, but I felt like it wasn't necessary. It was the beating heart of a cobra.
Oh dear.
But a snake had been slaughtered in front of me. It was a snake restaurant where...
So it's fresh.
Fresh, very fresh. It was beating for 5 minutes. As muscle memory.
Oh dear.
So this restaurant, when they slaughter a snake, whatever breed it was, they will make sure that they make all sorts of dishes with the entire snake. So deep fried skin, the bone will be mixed used to make porridge, and then the meat will be stir fried, blah blah blah. And the blood will be drunk together with its bile.
What does it do?
Okay, so the beating heart has to be consumed first. And you're not supposed to bite it or chew it. You're supposed to just swallow it. And can you imagine like a beating heart going down your esophagus, beating until it gets to your stomach? I just can't. So I asked them, what's the purpose of this? And they were like saying, oh, it improves your virility, gives you more like prowess in the bedroom. I'm like, okay, so men do this. Men take this. But I'm not a guy. I don't have a penis.
So you don't need...
I don't need to do this. Like, is it delicious? Then they were like, well, you're supposed to swallow it. So there's no delish factor. So I just kind of gave up on it. It's like, there's just no need to do it.
Thank you.
I've never had fin de claire like this. It's so warm. There's uni as well. This is like next level congee. No need to blow. It's not super hot.
I don't want to scald my tongue.
It won't.
Do you like airplane food? What's the worst thing you ate on the plane?
I don't remember food being absolutely bad, because when you have airline food, you already kind of know, or you're kind of prepared that it's not going to be same as on ground.
Did you take economics in school? Were you good at it?
It was a convent school that I went to. So home economics was pretty much a part of it, our curriculum. And it was split into 2 chapters.
Okay.
The sewing part, which I absolutely hate. How to repair stuff at home and shit. And then there's the cooking part, which I really enjoy. And that one, my mom was so involved in helping me, especially the final exam. You have to cook a dish.
Of course.
We practiced and practiced. It was steak and baked potatoes and all that.
Oh, wow.
I wanted to impress. We didn't have an oven at home. We couldn't bake it. So we figured out how to steam it to get
To mimic the right.
baked look. So my mom was like so supportive, so sweet. We went to the Chinese wet market to buy slabs of beef, a few.
bless.
And because we were so poor, it was such a treat. And the fact that she invested to buy a few slabs of meat so that I could practice, so I could
Trials
excel.
that,
Yeah. Was just really, really nice lah. So I had a really good.
Did you get an A?
I cannot remember what the result was because my mom has never been a results-oriented parent. She was just all about process.
Were they edible though?
This is the roasted pork belly. Wow. That
Yum.
was delicious.
Thank you.
Wow. I'm gonna give you half my cup.
Okay. What is your favorite meat?
I like game stuff. So pigeons and quails are my favorite. Wow.
Can't wait for dessert.
So this is the pea treasure rice pudding. Just one moment.
Oh, there's more. It smells like butter.
Does it?
Yeah, because of the leaves, I think. Oh my god, there is action. Okay, can you do this?
Oh my gosh,
for
oh my
us?
gosh. So now I have to film it.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Whoa. That's shocking.
Okay. Oh wow. Notice how I was just like sitting at the back. So what are you doing now for what?
Here and there. I've never been managed by anyone. I've never really gone out to seek jobs as well. I think I've been very fortunate ever since I left radio in 2017. I've had like a steady flow of people wanting to work with me. So I'll just like open my inbox every morning and like there'll be this agency that says, hey, this is campaign. So upcoming project. I'm shooting season 2 of Weird Food Diaries. So I'm going to start shoot in March. And then June, I'm quite scared.
Wow.
Because, I mean, I'm sure they're gonna up the ante. I don't think I'll be looking at bugs anymore.
Oh wow. Oh, didn't you tell me that you had like a testicle?
Yes, so it's a vole, which is like a really monstrous looking version of a mouse.
Oh.
They've got like really long, sharp teeth, incisors, right? You call that? And they're totally wild and they live in the rice fields of Tainan.
Okay.
So I ate its testicles.
Oh damn. How big
You
were
know, yeah, so for like a vole this size, like maybe this size, how big do you think its testicles would be?
like this?
Like tiny, right?
Yeah.
No man, they're quite big, you know, thumb size leh. It's like almost like this
Wow.
and round. So I was like, okay, how are you gonna cook it? I was like, oh, we just wanna, you know, have its natural flavor come through. So we're just gonna like
Yikes.
ting tao, like
Yeah, right.
lightly fry
Yeah.
it with a bit of wine, a bit of garlic, a bit of like ginger, a bit of soy. I'm like, okay. It must be really flavorful then if they're not gonna coat it with that much flavor.
Right? What did it taste like?
So, as with all weird foods, it's always better to eat it hot because that's when food tastes the best,
Yes.
right? Because to eat a weird food cold is gonna like double its yuck factor.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, let's eat it straight from the pan. Fucking burst in my mouth and scalded my tongue.
Did it?
I mean, I was just so shocked by that sensation. I didn't even focus on the taste, and I just didn't want another one in my mouth.
Did it taste like semen?
No, it didn't. It was just like a bit of tension. Like, you know, I had to bite really hard.
Then it burst.
Then it burst. It wasn't like one of those delicate bubbles, you know. It had clearly like a thick layer.
Yikes.
And so I was expecting, like, you know, I know what's in a testicle. It's liquid. But I thought it would have, you know, coagulated, you know, upon contact with heat. But no, a vole's testicle remains liquid. So I was like, ooh, it tastes really nice. Boom. I was like, oh my god. Did it just burst in my mouth and scald my tongue? Oh my god.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine like
It was very shocking.
yeah. And I can't believe this is not your worst food.
It wasn't.
I cannot wait for June.
Shut up.
On this note, thanks for having lunch with me.
Thanks for taking me out for a free lunch. It's free, right?
I thought you were paying.
Is it? Oh, but you invited me. Isn't that the...
Did you say something? Sorry, I thought you said something. Did you say something?